Welcome. So today I'm going to be reviewing the Huglight Pro by MyLight. The concept here, just to get right into it, I was looking for lighting for my first aid kit, and I was watching lots of videos. Nut and Fancy has a really great series on the subject. I've seen that 3 times through now, and if you guys watched my previous video on how to deal with an emergency situation, I have this sort of acronym, this theory called STSR. And I was thinking how to apply that, the idea of mobility, looking at the skill sets of the people in my group. And the main thing I wanted was a compact, hands-free lighting solution in a medical rescue type of situation. You know, I'm thinking in my mind, I'm going to need both my hands to be handling the procedures. And so I need like a light that's very versatile. I can open my medical kit and put it on. I figured originally that it was lean, sort of like a glow tube. Something like a necklace, and that's how it appeared on Cutlery Lover's video. This is actually my serious first aid kit. Right here in the main pouch, I was hoping the Huglight would fit kind of in that little arch of the pack. But when I purchased it, obviously you can see the size of the Huglight. My goal is not to make you avoid buying something unless it's outright, bad. But that is always sort of compared to the cost. If I told you that this was $1, then the whole review would be centered around the fact that you couldn't lose because it's literally just $1 and you get tons for your money. I don't personally carry the light. You can see the thing here is the Huglight's cost isn't as good a value compared to what higher performance flashlights we're used to seeing, like from Army Tech or Phoenix or Nightcore. The design is barely water resistant. You see it's just a clip like that. I mean, there's this little silly shaped sort of O-ring structure. I mean, it's barely water resistant. I mean, you definitely cannot submerge it. Maybe if it got flooded, the electronics would still work. I don't know. That's something to perhaps test. The main thing here is it takes 3 AA batteries, which is very convenient. But it also shows how behind it is in comparison to something like the Army Tech Wizard, which can output way more for less size. I mean, at this point now we're talking that compartment of 3 AA batteries, obviously that's just not something. I mean, you can see it's not compact. You're not getting 1,000 lumens or 700 lumens, it's sort of limited by then its technology. The LEDs are bright. I mean, they're good enough. They have 3 settings. But they're not like XM, L2 or G2s. But there are a lot of brands that fall into this slightly inferior technology category. 511, MyLight, Streamlights, etc. All those brands don't output like the previous brands I just mentioned. So for people looking for the elite, or even people who cross-shop, I want to convey that this product's value is not really in its performance relative to the competition, but more in its novelty and unique features. So first, I'll be honest, I just wanted to return it after opening the packaging. The thing is really silly in terms of size, and like I said, the performance isn't at the level that I've grown accustomed to with all these other tactical lights. So what I ended up doing was putting it on my drill press as a sort of spotlight system. Targeted lighting. I can specifically aim both lights depending on how much I need at the spot I'm drilling from different angles. I can obviously move this thing around. And the fact that it is AA batteries, and then it has these sort of normal LEDs rather than some high output LED. The runtime is great. I mean, I can run this for shifts of like 5 hours at a time, and the battery's still going. So it's not a very expensive product. So for damaging it isn't really a concern of mine. I mean, when I work and I spray WD-40, it gets on it. It's not a big deal. But that again is relative to the individual, because I've been known to ruin $1,000 knives. For me, when it comes to these kind of things, these are tools, and I want them to help me accomplish that goal. On the packaging, it shows that it would be good for like an emergency situation with a car. So you can see that would actually work. I mean, you can, if you have a flat tire, it's nighttime, that's really good. And it's a real life concept that not always when you're working is it optimal to have the light shine directly out from you towards the object, because for example, working with metal, the material reflects the light back into your face. So sometimes you need that lighting to come from above or from the side. And this is something that this light allows you to do. I mean, despite its absurd size and even, you know, sort of average performance in terms of output, you know, someone can find real world uses for it. Because this is a flashlight that you can wear on you and then shift to somewhere else above you, next to you, and, you know, continue working. And you can constantly change the angle that you're working at if the thing you're working on has different spots that you need to focus. It's just a shame that it doesn't have like this awesome screw casing for the batteries that, you know, was more watertight, really durable, perhaps even these components here. It would be nice if it was like that, because then it could be maybe even for like scuba diving or something like that. Would be quite awesome. And perhaps the last application is maybe it would make a good movie prop. I mean, it kind of has at night, you know, you see these two lights around someone's neck, it kind of looks like an alien helmet. Just joking. So my final thoughts are, I'm not really particularly stoked that I bought it. You know, I just wanted to get through with this review. If I had seen the size of this package, you can see here, in person when before I purchased it, I would have definitely passed on the Huglight. But as is, that's not the case. And now that I found a good use for it, I'm trying to think of what else I own or could buy that would fit the role I've placed on it here. It's a useful shop tool. And I've been a happy customer ever since I actually figured out what in the world I could use this for. And once I started using it, I noticed how convenient and helpful it is. And the same will go for you. If you can determine where you need, you know, the base amount of lighting, like just the general average enough to get a job done at night, up close. And then also you need that lighting to be constantly adjustable. You know, if you're working on something and it's shifted over here, you need to see a different spot. You need something that can position itself constantly. Then this is really suited for that role. You know, I could definitely imagine a foreman giving this to his crew. As is, this is my portable shop light, the Huglight Pro. You can see here it shows, I guess, a repairman, really cheesy, but, you know, it talks about ultra brightness, doesn't say the lumens. But it has magnetic base, great, you can wear it, bend it, hook it, yeah, stands up. Yeah, it is really ingenuity, like I said, in terms of the features, what it can do. If you're a mechanic, you don't even have to wear it around your neck like that. You could just clamp it onto the hood of your car and then just aim it at wherever you're working on. So you can see it does have some pretty darn good uses, and especially when you're far from an outlet, or like me, for example, if my outlet is dedicated to my drill press and my grinder or something, I don't want to plug in more electronics. Really, the value of it is just going to be based upon what role you place on it.